Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ആയില്ലേ ഇപ്പോഴും അത് ഗുണം കഴിഞ്ഞു അത് മിണ്ടാത്ത എന്താ ഓക്കെ എന്തെന്തോ 20 പേരേ ഉള്ളോ ആളുകൾ ഏത് ക്ലാസ് അന്നേരം കഴിഞ്ഞ ഏത് ക്ലാസ്സാ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഏതാ
DME.
ഡിസൈൻ ഓഫ് മെഷീൻ ലേണിംഗ് ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് അറ്റൻഡൻസ് മാർക്ക് ചെയ്യണ്ടായിരുന്നു അറ്റൻഡൻസ് ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് മാർക്ക് ചെയ്യണ്ട ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്യണ്ട ചാറ്റ് മെസ്സേജ് ഒന്നും ഇടണ്ട As usual, I will be posting the quiz, so you can mark your attendance by attempting the quiz. So within the time which is permitted. So when the quiz answer, the quiz will be one of your assignment also. So I'll be counting the average of all the quizzes as an assignment. So don't skip the quizzes. Okay, let us start the class. So today we will be discussing an important topic on verb propagation. So we will derive one equation for or relation for the velocity of sound in a medium. Then also we will see the effect of Mach number on compressibility. So how the Mach number affect the compressibility factor. So that we'll be discussing in the later part of our class. So let us first of all begin with defining what is a verb. Verb എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും പറയുന്ന ഒരു verb അല്ല different types of verbs. The terminology is familiar to you. So it is a disturbance actually. So when we say verb in our gas dynamics, what we mean is it is a pressure disturbance. Sound verb, and we will be focusing on sound verb. So sound verb, we can say a sound verb as a very small intensity pressure verb which is created by a source of disturbance. So when a source or when an object moves or when it generates noises, that noise is propagating in the form of pressure pulses. So such weak pressure verb is called as a sound verb. So the speed is the velocity of sound. അപ്പോൾ സൗണ്ടിന്റെ മീഡിയത്തിന്റെ ടൈപ്പ് അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് വെദർ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് സോളിഡ് ലിക്വിഡ് ഓർ ഗേഷ്യസ് ഇനി ഗേഷ്യസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ മേ ബി ഡിഫറെന്റ് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ഗ്യാസസ് സോ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ്സ് ഓൺ ദ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടീസ് ഓഫ് ദ മീഡിയം ഈസ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് in defining the speed of the sound in that medium. So now let us familiarize with a few terminologies related to a verb. Actually, verb you can represent by what you can see now is a verb represented as a series of compression and rarefaction What is rarefaction and compression? When a wave is created, when a disturbance or a noise is created by an object, it actually compresses the air which is just ahead of the point of origin. So that some region, the air in the region ahead of it is getting compressed and expanded. So that regions are called compression and rarefactions. But we have the compressed, the region where the pressure rises, we call it as compression, or the high pressure regions are called compression, and the region where we are having low pressure. Low pressure means the pressure getting reduced means we have the expansion. So that part are called rarefactions. So we can approximate, or we can say pressure wave is a series of these compressions and rarefactions. So what you have here on the diagram represents a pressure wave where the crest of the pressure wave we can call as compression. Trough of the wave is the rarefactions. So the distance between successive crests or successive troughs is called the wavelength. ഇതൊക്കെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഫെമിലിയർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്, because you have studied about waves, sound waves earlier in your 10th or 12th class, physics classes. So you have wavelength defined as the distance between these two adjacent troughs. Peak wave, you have can see the up and down, upper and lower portion of a wave, where the upper peak is called the crest and the lower part, the bottom peak point are in the trough on the പറയുന്നത്. So this is the crest trough, and this is the trough, the crest, sorry. So and the distance between crest and crest, or we can say the distance between the trough, lambda. So now other parameters that normally specified with a wave, sound wave, is the frequency and the speed, amplitude. So what is frequency? Frequency is nothing but the number of, what is frequency? Frequency is the number of oscillations per unit time, frequency, and it is unit specified in hertz. Then 1 by frequency, we call it as the time period. Then amplitude is, amplitude, amplitude is the height of the crest. So this is the amplitude. The height of this crest is called the amplitude. And the number of oscillations per unit time is called the frequency. 1 by frequency is called the time period. And the speed, what is speed? The rate of propagation of the sound in that medium is called the speed, and it is related to the wavelength and frequency with this relation. This is also familiar to you. The speed of sound A equal to the wavelength lambda into the frequency nu. So this is the relation between the velocity of sound, frequency, and wavelength. Lambda into nu equal to speed. Now the schematic diagram which shows you, or you can understand what you mean by high frequency and low frequency. So the wave which is represented on the top, that is a high frequency wave, that we have more number of oscillations. So this is one oscillation. ഒരു crest, ഒരു trough, ഇത്രയും വരുന്നതാണ് ഒരു oscillation, ഒരു cycle എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് പറയാം, ഒരു part. So we have more number of such oscillations per unit time. So we call it as a high frequency, and the second figure on the below that shows a low frequency wave. Now let us derive an equation or relation for speed of sound in any medium. So you can take down this diagram. What we have here is a duct, constant area duct. Inside the duct we have a piston which moves, and this duct is filled with a stationary fluid. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഉള്ളത് ഒരു ഡക്റ്റ് ആണ്, കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ഏരിയ duct I have taken, and I have a piston which I can move along the length of the duct, and this duct is filled with a stationary fluid. So this is what the condition we are having. Initially, the piston is at rest. That means the gas or the fluid which is inside the duct is stationary, and let us say these are the properties of the stagnant fluid. So H enthalpy of the stagnant fluid, T temperature, P pressure, and the rho density. So initially the gas is at rest, the piston is at rest, gas is at rest, so that the properties are represented as H, T, P, and rho. Now let us say that the piston is pushed forward. It is pushed forward. So we have the stagnant piston or the stationary piston, and let us impart a velocity dc to this piston. അപ്പോൾ പിസ്റ്റനെ ഞാൻ പുഷ് ചെയ്യുവാണ് ഇപ്പം, ആൻഡ് ദ വെലോസിറ്റി വിത്ത് വിച്ച് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് pushed is represented as dc. So the dc is the velocity of the piston which moves inside the duct. And due to the movement of the piston, what happens? The piston moves, and as it moves through the stagnant fluid, it creates a disturbance. Piston move ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നേരത്തെ stagnant ആയ fluid ആണ് ഇതിന്റെ അകത്ത് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. Now what happens is this piston is imparting motion to this fluid. ആ motion എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്തായിരിക്കും? That will generate waves, and that the waves will travel through the stagnant fluid, and the velocity with which this wave is moving, that is equal to the velocity of the sound. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു പ്രഷർ പൾസ് ഈ പിസ്റ്റൺ മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രഷർ വേവ്സ്, the pressure waves will travel through this stagnant fluid, and the velocity with which these pressure waves are traveling, they are equal to the velocity of the sound. നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു എന്താണ് സൗണ്ട് വേവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്? എന്താന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു? ഓൾറെഡി we defined a sound wave as a weak pressure wave. So the velocity with which a pressure wave will be traveling will be the same as the velocity with which the sound wave will be traveling. So the A is the velocity of this sound. So this pressure wave generated by the movement of the piston is traveling with velocity A. So this is the velocity of sound. Now what happens here is, നേരത്തെ the stationary fluid ആയിരുന്നു. Now the motion is imparted that causes the properties to change. അപ്പോൾ നേരത്തെ ഇതിന്റെ വെലോസിറ്റി 0 ആയിരുന്നു, സ്റ്റാഗ്നന്റ് ആണ് ഫ്ലൂയിഡ്, എൻതാൽപ്പി എച്ച് ആണ്, ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ടി ആണ്, പ്രഷർ പി ആയിരുന്നു, ഡെൻസിറ്റി റോ ആയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ വൺസ് ദ മോഷൻ ഈസ് ഇമ്പാർട്ടഡ് ടു ദ ഫ്ലൂയിഡ്. അപ്പൊ ഈ വേവ് ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്ത പോർഷൻ നോക്കുക. ഇവിടെ യു ക്യാൻ സീ ദ വേവ് ഈസ് സ്റ്റാൻഡിങ് ഹിയർ. സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ വേവ് which is traveling. It has already traveled through this much portion of the gas. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും ഏരിയ ഡക്റ്റിന്റെ ലെങ്ത് ഓൾറെഡി ഡക്റ്റ് ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ ലെങ്ത് ആണ്. ആൻഡ് ബിയോണ്ട് ദിസ് പോയിന്റ് ഇത് ഇപ്പുറത്തെ സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ പോയിട്ടാണ്. അത് ഇത് ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് ആ ഏതൊക്കെ പോർഷൻ ഏതൊക്കെ ഏരിയ ഇത് ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യുന്നോ ആ ഏരിയയിലുള്ള ഫ്ലൂയിഡിന് movement വരും. So that the fluid is getting motion, and its properties are now changing to H plus enthalpy changing to H plus ds, temperature is changing to T plus dt, pressure is changing to P plus dp, density is changing to rho plus 0. അപ്പോൾ ഈ മൂവ്മെന്റ് മൂവ് ചെയ്ത പാർട്ടില് ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മള് ഡിസ്റ്റർബൻസ് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് എവിടെ വരെ ഡിസ്റ്റർബൻസ് എത്തി അവിടെ വരെയുള്ള ഗ്യാസ് മൂവ്മെന്റ് ഉണ്ടാവും. ആ ഏരിയയിലുള്ള ഫ്ലൂയിഡിന്റെ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടീസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. It has changed, and let us say the changes in these properties are d rho, dh, dt, db. ഹലോ, ആ കണ്ടു പറഞ്ഞു. ഞാൻ അതോടെ രണ്ടാമത് കയറിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. പറഞ്ഞില്ല. ഓക്കെ. ഓക്കെ, ഹലോ, കേൾക്കാവോ ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്?
സാർ കേൾക്കാം.
കേൾക്കാം. എവിടെ വരെ പറഞ്ഞു? എവിടെന്നാ കട്ടായ? എവിടെന്നാ ഞാൻ പോയെ? ഏത് സ്ലൈഡിൽ നിന്നാ പോയെ? എവിടെ വരെ പറഞ്ഞതായിരുന്നു?
ഈ സ്ലൈഡാ സാർ.
ഹലോ, ഓക്കെ, ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ വേർ ഐ. ഇതിന്റെ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ, ഇതിന്റെ ഇത് ബിഗിനിങ് പറഞ്ഞത് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ? അതിന്റെ എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ പറഞ്ഞത് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിരുന്നോ? ഓക്കെ, സോ വാട്ട് ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് എന്തോ? Okay, so what I have here is I have a duct in which we have a stagnant fluid. So a piston which moves, that creates a pressure disturbance, and this pressure disturbance is moving through this stagnant gas. So what I said earlier is the region through which this pressure disturbance is moving, that part of the fluid is getting motion, and the rest of the fluid remains stationary. So the region where the gas is getting movement, the properties are changing, and the property changes are d rho, dh, dt, dp. So these are the property changes in density, enthalpy, temperature, and pressure in the region where the movement is imparted by the piston. So I have now a situation where a pressure disturbance is moving from left to right through a stagnant gas. This pressure disturbance move ചെയ്യുന്നത് left in right ലോട്ടാണ്, and that moves through a stagnant gas. This is the situation what actually we are having. Now let us consider a control volume which contains this pressure disturbance. Let us say that this control volume is also moving along with the wave front. With the same velocity. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ പറഞ്ഞ എന്താണ്, കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയം കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്ത് ഈ പ്രഷർ ഡിസ്റ്റർബൻസിനെ എൻക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയം കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്തു, മൂവിംഗ് കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയം കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്തു, and the velocity with which this control volume is moving is same as the velocity with which the pressure disturbance is moving. So that the relative velocity will be a minus a will be 0. So that this control volume is special control volume. Now instead of the actual situation, now let us consider an imaginary situation where we have a stationary control volume, and the control volume stationary consider the apparent situation. Now I have a situation where the fluid is moving from right to left with velocity a on this side of the pressure valve or the control volume, and the velocity of the fluid on the other side, on the left side of the pressure on the control volume will be a minus dc. A minus dc ആവാൻ കാരണം എന്താണ്? ആക്ച്വൽ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സ്റ്റാഗ്നന്റ് ഫ്ലൂയിഡ് ആണ്, പ്രഷർ വേവ് ആണ് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതിന് പകരം ഞാൻ ഈ പ്രഷർ വേവിനെ എൻക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയം കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്തു. ഈ കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയം ഒരു സ്റ്റേഷനറി കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയമായിട്ട് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇതിനും അതേ വെലോസിറ്റി തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു. ഏതാണ്? വേവിന്റെ വെലോസിറ്റി എന്താണോ same velocity control volume velocity, so that the relative velocity will be 0. So now this wave front will be appearing to remain at one place. It will be always within this control volume. So for this control volume, the wave front will be a stationary. Instead, it will appear that the fluid will be moving from right to left with velocity a on the right side of the control volume and velocity on the left side of the control volume will be A minus dc. Why these two velocities are different? ഈ രണ്ട് വെലോസിറ്റീസ് വ്യത്യാസം വരാൻ കാരണം എന്താണ്? നേരത്തെ നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞത് എന്താണ്? ഈ പ്രഷർ വേവ് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ കാരണം എന്താണ്? ഈ പിസ്റ്റൺ മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. പിസ്റ്റൺ മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്ന വെലോസിറ്റി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് DC ആണ്. സോ ഓൾറെഡി ഓൺ ദ ലെഫ്റ്റ് സൈഡ് ഓഫ് ദി പാർട്ട്, ലെഫ്റ്റ് സൈഡ് ഓഫ് ദ കൺട്രോൾ വോളിയം, ദ ഫ്ലൂയിഡ് ഈസ് മൂവിംഗ് വിത്ത് വെലോസിറ്റി DC ഇൻ ദിസ് ഡയറക്ഷൻ. അപ്പോൾ നേരത്തെ പിസ്റ്റന്റെ മൂവ്മെന്റ് ഫലമായിട്ട് the fluid is getting a velocity, the piston is moving with velocity DC, so it imparts a velocity DC for the liquid or the fluid also. For liquid fluid, right side lot or velocity DC already imparted aanu. Then it has a velocity, it has an because the gas
Sir,
is moving towards the left. Hello? Voice is breaking.
Voice break.
Maybe the problem with the network. Let me. Okay, minute. Now should be fine. So, for some clarity on or still it is breaking. Hello? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it should be okay because I now connected to the wired connection. So it should not break. Wi-Fi might be. So the situation now is we have a stationary wave front. But നേരത്തെ ഉള്ള actual situation പകരം I have a now apparent situation where we have a stationary wave front and the fluid is moving from fluid will appear to move from right to left with velocity A on the right side of the control volume and velocity A minus DC on the left side of the control volume. And the reason why the velocity is A minus D on the right side is left side is already on the left side the fluid is in motion due to the movement of the piston. Piston DC velocity oda move ചെയ്ത situation കൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ വെബ് വേവ് ഉണ്ടായത്. So already on the left side of the control volume the gas is moving towards right with velocity DC, and on the right side of the control volume we have stagnant fluid. So when you consider the wave front as stationary, it will appear that the gas is moving from right to left with velocity A on the right side of the control volume and velocity A minus DC on the left side of the control volume. And the properties on the right side is where the right side gas in the properties stagnant fluid ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ properties HP rho, and on the right side you have this enthalpy H plus DH, pressure P plus dP, and density rho plus d rho. So this is the imaginary situation where the gas will appear to move from right to left through this control volume. Now we can apply the conservation equations to this apparent movement of the fluid. For the imaginary situation, you can apply the continuity equation. How do you apply the continuity equation? So the duct is having an area A, cross state of the duct is A. So continuity equation, if you apply rho A into A, so this is the mass that is entering the control volume. Fluid in the velocity, apparent velocity A ആണ്. So the velocity with which it will be entering the control volume will be A, and capital A is the duct area, rho is the density. So rho A will be equal to, on the left hand side I have density rho plus d rho into velocity of the fluid is A minus DC. കാരണം A velocity left load on the right load to DC on the, so the net velocity of the fluid will be A minus DC towards left. So rho plus d rho into A minus DC into A. So when you simplify it, finally it becomes rho DC equal to A into dP. So let us say it is equation 1. Now apply the momentum equation to this control volume. So when you apply the momentum equation, what is momentum equation? Mass flow rate into m into velocity leaving minus velocity entering, A minus dc. The velocity which the fluid leaves the control volume is A minus dc, and the velocity of entering is A. So m into A minus dc minus A will be equal to the net force. So P into A on the left side, and on the right side it is P plus dP into A. So this is the net force in the direction of motion. So that m you can replace with rho into A into A. So you can substitute rho in this instead of this m. You can do the substitution, and you can simplify this. And after simplification, you get another equation dP as equal to rho A into dc. So let us say this is your second equation. Now you can combine these two equations. The first equation where you have rho dc equal to A dP, and the second equation dP equal to rho A into dc. You can combine these two, and finally obtain this A square as equal to dP by rho, or A equal to dP by square root of dP by rho, where A is the velocity of sound, dP by d rho is the gradient, pressure gradient, root of dP by d rho. Now let us imagine that the process is adiabatic, and also let us assume that the fluid what we consider is inviscid. So in that case, this process will be reversible adiabatic. If you assume that the process is adiabatic, the flow is adiabatic, as well as the fluid is inviscid, so you can say the condition is isentropic, reverse, it becomes reversible adiabatic, so that you can write this as the situation as A equal to square root of dP by d rho isentropic. So the dP by d rho isentropic means the isentropic flow conditions. So finally I have the sonic velocity or the sound velocity A equal to square root of dP by d rho isentropic. So this is the final equation for velocity of sound. Now further we can apply the isentropic condition or the isentropic flow. What I have is P by rho raised to gamma is constant for isentropic flow. So for this I can differentiate this to get dP by d rho isentropic. So you can differentiate this. It gives dP by d rho as equal to hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So dP by d rho for isentropic process it becomes gamma P by rho. So this substitution you can make again from the perfect gas relation P equal to rho RT, so that you can substitute for P. So when you substitute this, it becomes dP by d rho for isentropic becomes equal to gamma RT. And substituting this in the previous equation, which we derived, A equal to root of dP by d rho for isentropic, that becomes equal to square root of gamma RT. This is the equation what we have considered in our earlier derivation in the previous class, where velocity of sound is given as a function of the gas temperature. So gamma RT, where gamma is specific heat ratio, R is gas constant, and T is the static temperature of the gas. So this is an important derivation equation for the velocity of sound in any medium. Now another equation what you have studied earlier in your fluid mechanics, you have this isentropic bulk modulus of elasticity. So this bulk modulus of elasticity Ks, it is equal to rho into dP by d rho. So this is the equation for the bulk modulus of elasticity of a fluid, Ks equal to rho into dP by d rho. So you can now express another equation for velocity in terms of this bulk modulus equal to dP by d rho will be K by rho, or Ks by rho, where Ks is bulk modulus of elasticity of the fluid. Okay, yes. So this is another equation for velocity of sound in terms of the bulk modulus of elasticity. Now let us see how the gas constant affect the, or I mean the medium, type of medium affect the velocity of the sound. So now the substitution what you can make here is the gas constant you can given as, what is gas constant? What gas constant equal to R bar by MW, where R bar is universal gas constant and MW is the molecular weight of the gas. So the gas constant is also equal to universal gas constant by molecular weight. So that this given here, this is universal gas constant by molecular weight. So that you can substitute. So A equal to square root of gamma RT now becomes square root of gamma R bar by MWT. That means the speed of the sound is only a function of temperature of the gas. So this is a constant. Molecular weight is also constant for a gas. So it depends only, gamma is also constant. So it depends only on the temperature. So in any medium, the velocity of sound depends only on the temperature. If the medium changes, then the velocity of the sound also changes because the gas constant value changes. So in any medium, the speed of sound is a function of temperature only. Now, this equation, from this equation, what we can understand is that the gases with lower molecular weight. So the molecular weight is low. What does it mean? The molecular weight is low. For example, you see this comparison. We have this comparison for different medium, air and helium. You can see in air at 200 Kelvin, the velocity of sound is 284 meter per second, whereas in helium, the speed is 832 meter per second. What does it mean? So the gases where the sound velocities are larger. That is why the sound or speed, the speed of sound is higher in helium than in air, because helium is having lower molecular weight compared to air. So the molecular weight ഏത് മീഡിയത്തിലാണോ കുറവ്, ഏത് ഗ്യാസിനാണോ കുറവ്, അതിൽ ഹയർ സ്പീഡ് ആയിരിക്കും. So for any temperature, if you take any temperature, at all temperatures, the same is the comparison. So at 300 Kelvin, if you calculate, the speed of sound in air is 347, whereas in helium it is 1019 meter per second. And if you compare the values at 1000 Kelvin, it is 634 meter per second in air, and it is 1861 meter per second in helium. So the speed of sound also depends on the molecular weight of the gas. But in any medium, it depends only on the temperature of the gas. Now again, let us see another definition for the Mach number, which we defined earlier as the velocity of the object to velocity of sound. So this equation or this definition already you have studied in fluid mechanics, where you have studied different dimensionless numbers. So Mach number you can also define as the ratio between the inertia force and the elastic force. So it is square root of inertia force by elastic force. Or inertia force you can give as rho is. The elastic force is Ks into A, where Ks is bulk modulus, A is cross-sectional area. So you can substitute inertia force and elastic force, and finally it gives the same equation what we just now derived. It is Ks by O. So it is the another important relation for, or another important definition for the Mach number. Now an important derivation which proves the effect of compressibility or effect of Mach number on compressibility. to study the effect of Mach number on compressibility, let us now consider the Bernoulli's equation which we have studied in fluid mechanics. So this is the Bernoulli's equation what you have, which is familiar to you. P plus rho, pressure head plus kinetic head 1 plus c square plus potential head g z is a constant. Now neglecting, let us for the time being, let us neglect the potential head so this is neglected for the time being. So it's P by rho plus half rho c square is constant. And if we consider stagnation condition, what is stagnation condition? What do you mean by stagnation condition? Which we have discussed yesterday. എന്താണ് stagnation conditions എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ? Hello? What is stagnation condition?
ഫ്ലൂയിഡിന്റെ സ്ട്രീം
എന്താണ് stagnation condition?
ഐസെൻട്രോപിക്കലി റെസ്റ്റിലോട്ട് വരുന്ന ഫ്ലൂയിഡ് സ്ട്രീം.
Velocity എന്തായി?
Zero.
The condition definition stagnation condition means the velocity condition where the velocity becomes zero, and that deceleration is isentropic. Definition പറയുമ്പോൾ process isentropic ആണ്, and the final end point velocity എന്താണ് zero വരുന്ന condition ആണ്. So if you apply the stagnation condition, what you can here is P by rho plus half rho c square will be equal to C will be zero. When C is zero, P equal to P naught, stagnant pressure, and the rho equal to rho naught. So you can do a substitution. So you can substitute P by rho plus half rho c square equal to P naught by rho naught. Now again for incompressible flow, incompressible flow ആണ് പ്രത്യേകത എന്താണ്? Density constant ആണ്. Density constant mean rho and rho naught is constant. So incompressible flow case, we consider density as constant so that rho equal to rho naught. So if rho equal to rho naught, I can substitute here P by rho naught, I can put rho for incompressible flow. So that now you can combine, you can bring this term to the right hand side. So what I can now write, or you can bring this to right hand side. P by rho you can take it to the right hand side and rearrange the terms, and you can write like this: P naught minus P by half rho c square equal to 1. So this equation is rewritten like this. And now what I have a term called as compressibility factor or pressure coefficient. The left hand side term pressure coefficient. This term is called pressure coefficient and compressibility factor. And this factor is defined for what we have defined it for a incompressible flow. The equation നമ്മൾ എത്തിയത് incompressible flow case പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ്, and the pressure coefficient or compressibility factor equal to 1. So this is the situation we are having for an incompressible flow. അപ്പോൾ pressure coefficient എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ലെഫ്റ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് സൈഡിൽ ഈ ടേമിനെ പറയുന്നതാണ് pressure coefficient P naught minus P divided by half rho c square. This term is called as compressibility factor or pressure coefficient, and this is equal to 1 for incompressible flow. അപ്പോൾ density constant situation incompressible flow കേസിൽ pressure coefficient value 1 എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത്. Now let us derive the equation for a compressible flow, and to derive it, let us take this equation. ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഇന്നലെ കഴിഞ്ഞ ക്ലാസ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തതാണ്. P naught stagnation conditions നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ we have derived this equation. You can check your class notes. So it is P naught by P equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square to the power gamma by gamma. So this equation we had derived in the previous class. Now let us expand the right hand side using the Taylor's series. ഇത് നിങ്ങൾ മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സ് പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. 1 plus x to the power n is 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 x square by 2 factorial plus n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 x cubed by 3 factorial plus etc. This term will be x. So x will be gamma minus 1 by 2 m square, and the index n gamma by gamma minus 1. This will be your index. So you can expand this. So you have p naught by p on the left hand side. That will be side. We will be expanding this. This is Taylor series formula. So it's 1 plus n into n minus 1. So gamma. Sorry, first term is 1 plus nx. So gamma by gamma minus 1 into gamma minus 1 by 2 m square. So this is nx plus. Now the second, random terms in expansion. We want only a 1, 2, 3 more terms expanded. Next one, the n into n minus 1. So gamma by gamma minus 1 into gamma by gamma minus 1 minus 1. So it becomes n into n minus 1 into x square. X is gamma minus 1 by m square. So that square divided by 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2. Plus the third term, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 by 3 factorial. 6 into x to the power cube. Gamma minus 1 by 2 m square to the power 3 plus etc. So this is the expand. Now you can simplify this. In terms of simplify gamma, you multiply this, simplify. Once you simplify it, finally what I have is an equation like this. After simplification, for 3 terms, 3 expand Taylor series expand 1 terms 3 terms simplify multiplication simplify what I finally get is p naught by p equal to 1 plus gamma by 2 m square plus gamma by 2 gamma by 8 m raised to 4, like that I'll get. Now you can bring this 1 to the left hand side, p naught by p minus 1. I can bring it to the left hand side. So it becomes 1 remaining terms I have written here. Now again I divide throughout. So this is p naught by p minus 1. I divide throughout by this term, first term. Gamma by 2 m square which is divided. So it is p naught by p minus 1 divided by gamma by 2 m square equal to, now I have here 1, remaining term 1 by 4 m square. Check 2 minus gamma by 24 raised to 4 etc. So this is what we have. So this is like equal to 1 plus m square by 4 plus 2 minus gamma by 24 m raised to 4 etc. Now in the denominator simplify p into gamma by 2 m square. Now this pressure p you can substitute as rho RT. Equation state. So instead of p I can put a gamma RT. So this is substituted as gamma RT into gamma by 2. M square is substituted as c square by a square. Another relation what we have is n is c by a. Again a is root of gamma RT. So this is m square is written as c square by a square. So now rho RT gamma by 2. C square by a square will be gamma RT. So that is substituted. And when you simplify this, finally what I have is equal to 1 square. So this p into rho gamma by 2 s square now change to half rho c square. So that substitution I can make. I have this p naught minus p by half rho c square on the left hand side equal to 1 plus 1 by 4 m square plus 2 minus gamma by 24 m raised to 4 plus etc. So now you see on the left hand side, what is this on the left hand side? The left hand side term endana? What is this on the left hand side? Hello? The same term which I defined as compressibility factor here, p naught minus p by half rho square equal to 1. So this is the pressure coefficient of compressibility factor, and this expression gives the value for a compressible flow. So you can see that if m is 0, what does it mean? If m is negligible, the flow becomes incompressible. Compressibility factor Mach number defines for m very small, that means flow velocity is very small compared to sound velocity, the flow can be treated as incompressible. So when m become insignificant, the flow becomes incompressible. In that case, the value of the pressure coefficient is equal to 1. And for compressible flow, it depends on the value of m. M in the value എന്താണോ അതനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് pressure coefficient value vary ചെയ്യും. So that statement you can read here can be understood that the compressibility factor or pressure coefficient for compressible flow depends or deviates from unity. It depends on the Mach number value. Now, if you consider a particular case, let us say m equal to 1. So if you consider Mach number equal to 1 means sonic flow. And if you substitute 1 for m, and what you finally get is equal to 1.275. The equation of m in 1 substitute it will approximately equal to 1.2. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിന്റെ ടേംസ് കൂടുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് അവിടെ ഡെസിമലിന്റെ പ്ലേസസിലുള്ള വാല്യൂസ് കൂടും. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്, 3 ടേം വെച്ച് ലിമിറ്റ് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്. സോ ഫൈനലി the pressure coefficient value for a sonic flow equal to 1.275. That means the value has a percentage deviation of 27.5%. So incompressible flow value 1 ആണ്. ഒരു sonic flow കേസിൽ the value of pressure coefficient has increased or deviated by 27.5%. അപ്പോൾ ഈ രീതിയിലുള്ള കാൽക്കുലേഷൻസ് ചിലപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം. ഇത് ഡിറൈവ് ചെയ്യാൻ ചോദിക്കാം. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ വാല്യൂ തന്നിട്ട് for equal to supersonic flow m equal to 2, you may be asked to determine the value of pressure coefficient or the percentage deviation. That time you have to derive this equation and substitute for m as equal to the given value. 2 എന്താണോ തന്നിരിക്കുന്ന ആ വാല്യൂ വെച്ചിട്ട് pressure coefficient value calculate ചെയ്ത് അതിൽ നിന്ന് എത്ര ഡീവിയേഷൻ ഉണ്ടെന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. This is what the pressure coefficient deviation from incompressible is. Okay, so you go through the topic what we have discussed today. If you have any doubt, you can ask, or if you don't have any doubt, then we can stop here, and I will be posting the class note and the link for quiz to mark your attendance. You can mark your attendance up to 1:30. So you have enough time to mark your attendance. So you can refer the class note and mark your attendance. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.